The Motor Spirit is here in Florida at the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance. This is the 21st edition, and over the years it has grown in prestige and stature in the classic car world. The Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance is a classic event. The idea of the Concours d'Elegance began in the early 20th century in Europe at luxurious venues like the resorts at Cannes and Deauville, and the wealthy showing off their latest acquisition and themselves. Amelia Island activity is centered at the Ritz-Carlton. Walk into the Ritz lobby on Thursday, and the crowd is generally closer to buying their last car than their first. On Friday, Sunday's concours participants toured the area and arrived in the quaint village of Fernandina Beach, which could be a set for the perfect Americana commercial. It was the 8 Flags Tour, noting that the area had been under the flag of 8 different sovereigns.
About another 3 to 5 feet. Keep coming. I'll tell you when to stop. Keep coming. That's good right there. Terry, Norman. We're all here having our wonderful week in Florida.
On Saturday is a Cars and Coffee on the fairways of the Amelia Island Golf Club, featuring local cars that could qualify for their own concours.
Well, I found a car in Mobile, Alabama, and I had been looking for a P1800 for some time just because I fell in love with the body style. I mean, I'm a Ford dealer from Greenville, Tennessee. I'm a Ford, Lincoln, and Mazda dealer, and I typically stick with American cars, but now I just, when I saw this car up close and in person, I decided this is what I wanted, and I've enjoyed the process. It kind of looks like a Maserati on the front and a 57 Chevy on the back, and that's what I like about it. I love this view with the curves of the car coming around the back. If you can get back to the back. Yeah, sure. You know, it's got very adequate trunk storage. I won't show you that because it's got all my cleanup supplies. But the thing I like about the 1964 model is that it's, before they changed this body side molding, in later years they went straight along this line right here instead of going up along this crease, and I just think that's just a really neat use of the chrome. And then on the 64, also on the front bumpers, this was the last year where they had the horns on the front bumpers. Instead of going straight across, these actually turn up and meet with the grill, and I think it's just a really interesting look. And then you know, it's interesting to see the difference in the people that come up to this. Some people come up and say, "What the heck is that?" You know, and other people come up and said, "You know, I had a car like that, or I always wanted a car like that." You know, the Volvo just kind of does that. Now, typical Volvos don't do that for me. Boxes, you know, boxes on wheels that are very safe.
The big question is, do you feel like Roger Moore and the Saint in the car?
No, I do not, but I love Roger Moore. I thought he was the best James Bond.
Thank you.
lovely restoration, and the colors are so elegant. Have another look. The 1949 DeSoto Custom Convertible is lot 192.
Lot 192, an extraordinary convertible for, let's say, 20,000 to start. We'll start 20,000. Thank you for the yellow, like 20,000.
Sunday brings out the people and some East Coast cars that don't come west, along with a little East Coast self-importance and occasional organizational attitude, an example of volunteer inbreeding. Yet Amelia Island really isn't about cars, but the warm camaraderie of the guests. And while it could be pre-war elegance, exotic cars, eccentrics, or a plethora of great race cars, everyone is sharing the same interest and appreciation. And for that, it's worth the visit.
Are there any Janis Joplin fans here? Huh? I had the pleasure of seeing Janis Joplin live in Detroit years ago, and that was her car. With the psychedelic paint job. Janis Joplin's Porsche Chevrolet from the Hawk Brothers collection. Good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a packed house today. I want to thank all of you for being with us today. In spite of the forecast, it's almost 2:30. We've had very little of any rain, and you've been with us all day long with these magnificent automobiles. We're down.
I'll never forget the last race in Watkins Glen. I was in the first row, and Bernie Ecclestone came and said, "Hans, you go out and win this F race, and then you get a 3 years contract." And believe it, I had a great start.
To come to Amelia Island, you can fly into Jacksonville. And certainly you can stay at the Ritz, but there are plenty of hotels and reasonable rates around the airport. And it's just a half-hour drive away.